Today we're gonna do the Scarecrow, the fear enemy of Batman, versus Cole Borson, the God of Fear. Who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now I'm pretty sure like 90% of the people know the Scarecrow. I'm pretty sure I don't have to go over, but for people who just don't know him, I'm gonna give a quick summary of him. Jonathan Crane was abused as a child by his grandmother and was bullied at school because of his scarecrow-like design. Eventually becoming obsessed with fear, he took on the persona of the Scarecrow. That's all you need to know about him. Now, in terms of his abilities, Scarecrow, very similar to some Batman villains, he doesn't actually have powers, but he uses a toxin known as the fear toxin. This toxin has gotten very powerful over the years. It is even stated that it could even be the most powerful in terms of most powerful weapons in the DC universe. Like, this is more obviously not like Anti-Monitor or Galactus level, but it's still powerful enough for at least street level or mid or Justice League level characters on that tier. Obviously, Scarecrow is not that powerful, but yeah. Now let's go into Cole Borson. I'm pretty sure most people don't know him. Now don't know his origins very well, but I do know some parts of his backstory. So I do know that Cole Borson is the brother of Odin and the uncle of Thor. Cole was, I think, adopted by the Frost Giants, something like that. I don't know. So anyways, let's break down the fight. Now, obviously, Cole Borson is physically and mentally superior to a degree. Scarecrow is a mentally an ill person, meaning that he has psychological problems. He's obsessed with fear, and obviously, don't even get me started on physicality. Scarecrow usually gets defeated by Batman, the Dark Knight himself. So there's no reason to say that Cole Borson is physically superior. Scarecrow, while he's a great villain, he is not powerful. And like I stated, Cole actually has superpowers. Scarecrow doesn't. Now the thing about the fear toxin is that it could. Now we have to answer the question: could the fear toxin affect Cole Borson, aka the Serpent? I'm gonna go with yes, and here's why. The fear toxin has been able to affect Superman on a few occasions, meaning that if it can affect Superman, it can definitely affect people on Cole's level. Meaning that no matter how good Cole is, he could still temporarily be affected by the fear toxin. So alone, and remember, DC and Marvel do not exist in the same universe. Maybe there's a theory they do, but most publishers say that they don't. So we kind of have to assume that they've never seen each other before. And because even then, Cole was a really new villain, introduced early in the 2000s, I believe. Scarecrow was introduced in the late 1900s, like 1970s, 1980s, 1960s, and 1950s, in that era. Now, here's the thing. Cole's fear projection is really gonna do nothing against Scarecrow. Yes, Scarecrow has been injected by his own toxin over the years, but the thing is, that was early in his career when he wasn't one of the best supervillains, when he was an okay criminal, meaning that he could pull off some insane heights, but also it can get defeated by Banner pretty darn easy. That's the thing. Scarecrow in her early years, so yeah, that's one of the reasons, since in terms of it, he could fear more. However, he's a pretty good. However, over the years, on the other hand, I don't know why I said pretty good. So over the years, on the other hand, he's gotten used to that. So it makes sense that I don't think Cole Borson's magical fear projections would really do that much against somebody like Scarecrow. On the other hand, Scarecrow's fear toxin definitely has the power to affect Cole. So it's a 50-50 for me because on one hand, Scarecrow has the power to defeat Cole, but the problem is he's just not a good fighter and powerful enough to take him down. However, Cole is powerful enough to take down Scarecrow. So it's kind of a 50-50. However, one of the rules about these versus battles that I want to put out is that no, we cannot end a stalemate. If it ends in a stalemate, well, sorry, we're going to continue talking about this. We're not ending in a stalemate. Same thing here. Scarecrow versus Cole, it's not going to end in a stalemate, meaning there has to be at least one winner. Now, Scarecrow is powerful enough to hold his own, well, not powerful, but is skilled enough to at least do a good job against fighting someone like Batman. But obviously he gets destroyed in the end. Cole is pretty good at fighting people like Odin and Thor. And yes, Batman is maybe with prep time is at those level tiered, but on a regular day where he's weak and doesn't have prep time, he's not on that type of level. Now, Cole Borson has one edge in that he isn't mentally insane. He just isn't. Scarecrow, on the other hand, is mentally insane. I think that's going to give Cole the victory here. Because even though I love Scarecrow, Cole is not mentally insane. Cole is actually one of the smarter supervillains in the Marvel Universe, especially in Thor's Rogues Gallery. So Scarecrow, because of his mentally insanity, would eventually become obsessed with Cole's fear, and eventually Cole will take the victory. Now, here's my opinion. Scarecrow would definitely claim some victories. It's a really, really close fight. But Cole Borson just has so much more powers and abilities. And plus, he's like a god level tier. Meaning he's more on Odin-like characters. Like Galactus, Anti-Modern. And while Scarecrow is powerful enough to hold his own against Batman and the Justice League at times, he isn't powerful enough to take on someone like Galactus. I think that's one thing we can all agree is that Scarecrow, even though he's a great Batman villain, is not a pursuable threat to someone like Galactus. So in my opinion, this is a really close fight. But I think Cole Borson has just enough advantages over Scarecrow. He has a lot more powers and abilities. And he also is a bit smarter in his fights, where sometimes Scarecrow pulls off heist, but doesn't use his intelligence. Yes, I know, he was a psychological person before, but I feel like Jonathan, quote, Crane will usually loses to people like Batman. Cole can hold his own very well against someone like Thor. So in my opinion, Cole Borson, the Serpent, wins. But what do y'all think? I'll see y'all next time. And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bells in case on all. Now see y'all next time.